Power of gratitude, growth and service on the mind, proven benefits, and a vision for a better future. What is gratitude? Gratitude is essentially being grateful for our current life. This does not mean we have to like everything that has happened, but it is important to accept it so we can learn the lessons and move on. The thing about that is when we do it, we become a victor and not a victim of our own story, alchemizing challenges into gifts. Then we can pass it on to further generations. So, generational health, generational wealth, generational excellence. See, there's a whole field of science called psychoneurobiology, and this translates to how our thoughts and emotions interact with our entire biology. So, every thought that we think produces correlating chemistry. Like thoughts of love, like all these feelings, they're based on hormones and neurotransmitters. So oxytocin would be like in the love category, serotonin, things like that, and stress is cortisol. So those are just some examples, and these are all produced by feeling states. And that has the power of our mind to affect our biology. When we talk about epigenetics, our mind is the number one epigenetic controller. The number one thing. Epi means above, so it's essentially control above the genes, influencing what our genes do and how they get expressed through environmental factors. So let's get into the power of gratitude. Power of gratitude is imminent. This is because what you appreciate, which means what you focus on tends to expand. No matter how small the thing is that we're grateful for, we have to keep in mind is that the more grateful we are for something, the more likely we are to have it, even if it's not yet in our possession. Because gratitude is the ultimate state of receivership, focusing on what we have as opposed to what we don't have. This leads to more generative action, and the more that we feel that, the more we can track that in our own lives. Next, we got celebration, and we must celebrate the thing that is that you want. This includes people, places, and things, because the jealous energy that we have towards something is actually a repellent in terms of getting it. Like if we are jealous of somebody who has a body that we want, then we're actually repelling that thing. Because the celebration leads to different questions. Questions such as, how am I able to do that? Is this possible? What is it I need to do? If they can do it, I can do it. As opposed to the separation energy, which leads to degenerative action. Remember that life is a mirror, and our inner world creates our outer world. Next is growth and service on the mind. Look, I wake up every day with growth and service on the mind, freedom at the forefront. What questions do I need to ask today? What actions do I need to take for a better future? In the face of temptation, remember your why and the people that you're doing this for. No immediate gratification is worth the long-term mission. Never put immediate gratification before the mission. Now we're going to get to the scientifically proven benefits of gratitude, and number one is going to be overall mental wellness. Now this should not be a surprise. A study done in the Journal of Clinical Psychology showed that gratitude improves parameters of psychopathology, relationships, personality, subjective eudaimonia well-being, as well as humanistic characteristics. It also improves immunity, most notably white blood cells and macrophages, which are great immune parameters. Last, we have it regulates blood pressure. So in the Journal of Biopsychology, it showed that gratitude practice regulates overall blood pressure. So other strategies to incorporate gratitude within our own lives, and we're getting to have gratitude in advance. Having gratitude for things in advance allows your mind and the universe to know what it is that you actually want. And acting as if you already have it puts you in alignment for that thing. The key thing is to actually feel worthy. Many of us subconsciously or consciously feel unworthy of the things that we actually want. And that is unfortunate because it's the farthest thing from actual truth. Doing that helps you be in alignment with the person that you want to be to attract these things. Then taking the necessary actions. Because real talk, a lot of things that we want, we're not ready for. We're not able to hold the wattage of the success that we actually want. See, life doesn't call the qualified, life qualifies the called. You must be qualified for things that you want, the person they say you want to be, in the form of challenges. These things just don't just happen. So how are you showing up throughout the day? Who are you becoming? How are you responding? This will determine your future. Keep in mind that gratitude is a state of being. A lot of times I hear people say that you should be grateful for this, you should be grateful for that, and they say it in like this guilty tone. Like, you cannot guilt your way into gratitude. That's not how this shit works. You must be grateful as a state of being, not because you should be, but because you actually are. Guilting your way into something is a loser's mindset, often coming from a place of unworthiness. Understand there's a reason why we are the way that we are. We're not stupid, we all have a past. We all have reasons. We may not be conscious of these reasons, But once we actually get to the root cause of things, then we're actually able to heal, and our true essence actually comes out. But guilting yourself is not a healing form of energy. It's important to work on everything in your life, so your health, your wealth, your relationships, and everything else, because the more that you have, the more you can give. Lastly, I'm going to how to be grateful. So this is just focusing on the smaller things, just people, places, things. What would things be like if they weren't here? Appreciating things that we do have in our lives. Because again, once we focus on the positive in our lives, we're going to have more of that in our own lives, as to focusing on what we don't want. Gratitude is a generative state of being. I feel like the ultimate act of gratitude is just becoming the greatest version of you. Because this is what you're saying is that you're grateful for your own life and you're making the most of it. Optimizing everything. Understanding people are looking up to you. Passing positive things on to the next generation. Being a source of light and freedom. Remember that gratitude is brought on by a state of being, which is brought on by actions. Everything that we do can lead our life into a positive direction if we choose.